Ever wondered how a criminal trial really works? How does the prosecution present its evidence? And what happens if new witnesses pop up midway? Today, we are diving into the nuts and bolts of sections 231 or 231 and 254 of the Criminal Procedure Code or CrPC. By the end of this video, you'll understand the legal gears that drive the examination of witnesses and the rights of the accused. Whether you're a student, a curious mind, or someone navigating the legal maze, stay with me to unravel these crucial sections of the law. Let's start with a quick overview. Sections 231 and 254 of the CrPC are vital in criminal trials in India. Section 231 deals with the stage of recording evidence by the prosecution during a trial in Sessions Court. It sets the tone for how the prosecution must present its evidence to prove the charges against the accused. On the other hand, Sections 254 is relevant in warrant cases by magistrates, particularly when the accused has pleaded not guilty. It covers the defense right to cross-examine witnesses and the introduction of additional evidence by the prosecution. Imagine these sections as the rules that ensure fair play in the courtroom, balancing the scales between the prosecution and defense. Sounds simple, right? But there's a lot more that meets the eye, and we'll break it all down step by step. So let's dive deeper. Before we go in depth, here are the main key takeaways. First, Section 231 of the CrPC. It focuses on how the prosecution presents evidence in the Sessions Court trials. 2. Section 254 CrPC deals with how the prosecution can introduce additional evidence and how the defense can cross-examine witnesses in warrant cases. 3. Recent judicial commentary. Courts have provided significant rulings on the application of these sections, influencing how trials are conducted today. Now that you've got the basics, let's break each of these down further. Section 231 is like a rule book for the prosecution when it's their turn to show their cards. This section is applicable in trials before Sessions Court, and it primarily focuses on the examination in chief of prosecution witnesses. The prosecution must present evidence first, setting the stage for defense to counteract. The key point here is that the prosecution should only bring forth evidence that is directly related to the charges. The defense, on the other hand, has the right to cross-examine these witnesses immediately. This section ensures that the prosecution does not get an unfair advantage by hiding evidence or springing surprises on the accused. In the landmark case of State of Kerala versus Rashid, the Supreme Court emphasized that the prosecution must stick to its outlined evidence and avoid deviations without court permission. This judgment reinforced the necessity for the prosecution to maintain transparency. Now, moving on to Section 254. This section is relevant in trials of warrant cases before magistrates when the accused has pleaded not guilty. It is a critical phase because it's where the defense gets a real chance to challenge the prosecution's case. Section 254 also provides the prosecution the opportunity to introduce additional evidence if needed, but only with the court's permission. This was recently highlighted in the 2024 Andhra Pradesh High Court ruling, Pattiwada Balaji versus the State of Andhra Pradesh, where the court allowed the prosecution to call a new witness who wasn't listed initially. This was a significant move that emphasized the flexibility of Section 254 when it serves the interest of justice. What happens if the defense feels this additional evidence is unfair? The accused can object, and it's up to the judge to decide whether this new evidence is admissible. The judge's role here is crucial. They ensure the fairness of the trial is maintained at all times. So, what can you do if you believe your rights under sections 231 or 254 are being violated? Here are the steps. First, raise an objection. During a trial, you or a lawyer should immediately raise objections if there is a procedural irregularity. 2. File a revision petition. If the trial court's decision seems unfair, you can challenge it in any higher court through a revision petition. 3. Seek legal counsel. Consulting an experienced lawyer who understands the nuances of these sections can provide strategic advice tailored to your case. 4. Know the latest judgments. Staying updated on recent judgments can provide an edge in court. For instance, in the recent Andhra Pradesh High Court's decision mentioned earlier shows how courts may interpret Section 254 differently depending on the case. A noteworthy recent update is the increasing judicial acceptance of new witnesses and evidence even mid-trial, as seen in the 2024 Andhra Pradesh High Court decision. The court ruled that it's permissible for the prosecution to examine additional witnesses not originally listed in the charge sheet, as long as it doesn't prejudice the defense. This trend highlights how courts are adapting to ensure justice isn't compromised by rigid technicalities. Let's wrap up with a quick recap of what we have learned. First, Section 231 CrPC guides how the prosecution presents its evidence in Sessions Court. 2. Section 254 CrPC deals with defense cross-examination and additional evidence in warrant cases. 3. Key takeaways. Both sections work to ensure fair trials by balancing the rights of the prosecution and defense. 4. Recent trends. Courts are allowing more flexibility with additional evidence as long as it doesn't harm the fairness of the trial. Remember, understanding these sections can help you navigate the legal system more confidently, whether you're studying law or facing a legal challenge. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss another deep dive into the law. Keep learning and stay informed. Got questions or want to see another topic covered? Drop up comments below and let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.